Thanks, Judy. I'm Morgan Williams, here today to talk about water safety. And now that it's summertime, we're all wanting to get into our swimsuits and head out to a local pool or lake. But with all that water fun comes a need for safety. So it's important for mothers, and in fact all women, to be aware of how to keep our children safe in and near bodies of water. Joining me today is Retta Gavin. Retta is a coordinator for Safe Kids Dalton, and she's here today to give us some tips on how to keep our kids safe this summer. Retta, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Now, what's the number one thing you would advocate to parents about water safety?
The biggest thing is safety all around. You want to make sure that around whatever body of water, be it a 5-gallon bucket of water, a swimming pool, a bathtub, or a big lake, that you have all your safety things in place. Safety equipment is very important. One of the biggest things is having access to a cordless phone, whether it be a cell phone or a cordless phone from your house, because you do want to have that connection to 911 if you need it. Other things are just basic safety devices that you would need around any body of water. Flotation device being one of the biggest ones. There are so many different types of flotation devices that are out there, and you want to make sure that you have something even around a swimming pool, just like you would around a big body of water.
Now, when it comes to flotation devices, would this be sufficient for, let's say, a child that's wanting to go out and swim one day at the pool?
Unfortunately, this isn't a flotation device. This is something that's assisted for swimming. So a personal flotation device would be something that you would use for a form of rescue. These things are great for assisting in swimming, just like a pool noodle, but a real flotation device that's going to be used for safety are going to be a personal flotation device such as this, or swim bathing suits that have the flotation device built into it. They're actually designed to put the weight across the child, so you don't have a top-heavy child that flips upside down and remains floating. So you have to be real careful with these. These also can slip off of the arm very easily. So this is for assistance, but not for safety or rescue.
Okay. Now, when it comes to safety, how important is it for a child to know exactly how to swim?
That's one of the biggest things. It's not just swim lessons, it's also awareness of the pool, and we want to start when a child's really young. There are different types of lessons that are available. The biggest thing is to get a certification lesson. It's great that a parent may want to try to teach their child to swim, but unfortunately it's like a lot of things. They may have bad habits, or they may be afraid of the water to begin with. And you want to start the child actually just respecting the water, not being afraid of it. So as young as, they call it diaper dipping, anything under a year old. But you want to make sure that your instructor that you're utilizing is certified. You also want to make sure that the pool is capable of having a child that's under a year old, because you do have to worry about not only the sun exposure, but also the chemical exposure that the child may come in contact with. So, the certified instructor, make sure the pool is adequate for the child. And then that is really just for awareness. And then as the child gets older, there are different levels of swim lessons that they can take. And it goes from just safety around the pool to actual swim lessons. And the more that your child's involved in that, the more that they're going to be able to respect the water. And even with the certification, you don't want to leave a child alone in the water itself. You always want to have an adult that's monitoring the child and make sure that adult knows how to swim themselves.
Okay. Now, when it comes to a child being in the pool, what are some things that we need to be cautious about? What are some accidents that you've seen that we don't really notice?
Most of the time it's someone not paying attention. Children are quick, outside of the water just like they are inside the water. So you want to make sure that you're watching the child at all times. Just because a child is wearing a flotation device, just because a child has swim lessons, doesn't mean that the child needs to be turned loose in the pool. Even older children, it's not just babies that we're talking about. We're talking about even older children. They get a little overexcited. They may actually slip and fall in the pool, running around the pool, things like that. Biggest thing is you turn your back for 1 minute and the child can be underwater, and that's all it takes. So you want to make sure that that person is really paying attention and that they know what to do.
Right. Now let's talk about being certified. I know a lot of us go to the lake, and we've had boats on the lake for years now, but we feel like our life jackets here are good to go for a long time, but really, you were telling me that they're not. They need to be replaced.
Right. Life jackets are designed to be used around lakes, around boats and jet skis, but they're a lot like a lot of safety equipment. Things have changed in the design. the manufacturing, the safety requirements. So just because a life jacket was safe 10 years ago doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe now. So you do want to check for dry rot, you want to check for missing parts, you want to make sure that now you have 3 straps for a child's safety jacket instead of just 2. There are some that are actually designed to have the straps that come under the legs. So these are safety features that you look for in newer flotation devices.
Right.
And the biggest thing is, if you think that it's too old, it probably needs to be replaced.
So really just awareness.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the tips today. I'm sure our viewers have gotten a splash of knowledge for some summer tips around the pool, around bodies of water. Thanks for being here, Retta.
Thank you.
Back to you, Judy.